アメリカでおもてなしの気持ちを絡んでジャパニーズカフェができるのか。ちょうど2ヶ月前にこのHOSHIジャパニーズカフェはできて、美味しいものを作って提供するのがあんまり心配事ではなくて、それより日本的な気持ち、日本の考え方、おもてなし、気遣いなどを理解できるアメリカ人がいるのか、スタッフとしているのかどうかっていうことが一つの大きな課題だったんですよね。なんとかすごい人たちが見つかったので、その中の一人、チャンネルの視聴者の中では知られているアレクシスちゃんのことを皆さんに紹介したいと思います。Hey, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. A lot of people watch my channel know you. You have a big fan club. Alexis, there's a lot of people like you. They know you from your dad, of course.
Yeah.
Me and your dad's relationship, and then your love for cars and going to car shows and Japanese food and Japanese culture. But maybe what a lot of people don't know is that for the last 2 months, you have been an employee here at HOSHI.
Yep.
You know my concept for this Japanese cafe, right?
Yeah.
It was to bring delicious, authentic Japanese food to people here in Texas. But there was another point that I made to everybody, you and everybody else who works here. I told you guys that I want to present ourselves in a Japanese hospitality type of way. I want to greet people differently than other places here. I want to kind of replicate Japanese service here in America.
Yeah.
And I was worried about this. I got to tell you a little bit when I did it, because I knew we can make delicious food. I know we can get all the ingredients to make everything good. I knew with the Japanese people working here, who were going to be working here, that making the food wasn't going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But could we serve that food to people and present that food to people in a way that really felt Japanese too? I wanted your input on what it was like to work in this environment. Working with Japanese people. Did you notice anything different? Was there anything? And I want you to be totally honest and truthful about the experience. Tell me what your thoughts are of this last 2 months in this environment that we created here.
It's been a really good experience. I've learned a lot and I've gotten to experience a lot of different things that I think a lot of other cafes that may be a similar concept of the milk tea and having sweet treats from an Asian country, different things like that. Their concept is there, but a lot of them do it very Americanized. Here, though, it's so different. It has the Japanese culture so front forward. It's so pushing forward that people come here and they're like, I don't even know what hojicha is. I don't know what these certain flavors are. And so you get to explain to them. People enjoy it, and so they come back and they want to try something new. They want to try something different because there aren't a lot of places that serve a lot of the flavors that we do.
Right.
And so that was really fun to experience customers, them trying new things.
Are you saying, is it fair to say that you, by introducing people to new things and bringing some enjoyment to their life and what they had and getting their feedback to you, did that make you feel?
It made me feel amazing.
It did, right?
It made me feel really good to share another culture to them and have them experience it. And even though they were hesitant to, they still enjoyed it. So getting to see people open up and try something new is really exciting for me personally.
That's awesome. You know, I understand the feeling it is. You know, by giving somebody enjoyment, I always feel that that person's enjoyment comes back and gives us, the people giving the enjoyment, even more enjoyment.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
You know, there's a full circle in this thing too. But I know I made you guys, and maybe you're like, why is this guy making me do it? But when people come into the store, what did I always say that we wanted to say? Hello, give me.
Hello, welcome to HOSHI.
And that's it. And in Japan, you know, you go to Japanese restaurants, irashaimase, you're welcoming people in. The smile, the greeting. Did you notice people's reactions when they came in to that?
They kind of came out of their shell more. They would be more alert and they would make eye contact with you. And so it felt more connected. It makes them feel welcome, makes them feel more open to ask questions.
You said something interesting. You're sharing a culture that truly isn't yours, but you're getting enjoyment out of doing that.
Yeah.
Can you, what is it about that?
I guess for me personally, I've always liked learning other cultures, learning about other cultures and how it is, and how two countries can be so similar yet so different in many ways. So getting to be able to really dive deep as much as I can possibly into this culture without physically being in the country, and then getting to share what I've learned here to people who have never been to the country, never been involved in the culture, never been around people that have been involved in the culture. I don't know, I find enjoyment to see people learn new things.
Me, from my level of introducing this cafe, was to do the same. I'm not Japanese, obviously. You can look at me and see.
Yeah.
For me, bringing something here that really is not everywhere, it's pretty uncommon, and something that I enjoy, that I'm passionate about, and then to share it with other people. You know, in America, one of the things that always bothered me, especially going back and forth to Japan a lot, was the way employees represent the company. Okay, and this is a really difficult thing. And in here, we're so much about me and I. And in Japan, it's more about we and about when you're representing the company, you're not yourself. You're representing, you're representing the entire company.
Yeah.
And your ability to be nice to people, meaning a greeting, a good morning, making people feel good, is what's required here. In a lot of places you go into, the gym, or you go into places in the morning and nobody's looking at you, your heads are in the phone and everything else. And I hate that. A lot of people said to me, Steve, you're going to have trouble finding people to work here that are going to understand what you want to do and what you want to get. I didn't want to believe that it would be difficult to. And you know what? After 2 months, I know it's possible to find good people like you, like all the other, kids. To me, you're kids, you're young, but you guys really represented and continue to represent Hoshi in really a way that I didn't know if it was going to be possible to do. So for me, I'm really happy. But I wonder, what do you think? Do you think a lot of people would understand we're not taking tips, but we're still going to be super nice? We're leaving the cell phones away. We're going to be focusing on customers. We're going to smile. We're going to greet people. We're going to thank people. We're going to make people, without asking for any extra tips, feel very special in our cafe. What did you think of that concept?
I personally love the concept. I think it's a very unique aspect that I think America could use a lot more. It's almost like a reverse psychological effect of we're not asking for tips, but then people want to tip because your service is so good. I think when people come into our cafe and they're greeted and there's no tip screen pushed in front of them, they're kind of surprised. And I've had customers, she was like, you guys don't tip? And I was like, no. And she goes, but how do I tip you? And I go, we don't accept tips. And she goes, well, this is America though. And I go, yeah, and we're a Japanese cafe. Like, this is how we work, this is how we function, and we would like to share this same idea of omotenashi with you. I think that's why a lot of the times we get repeat customers, because they come in and they know the service is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
The people are going to be smiling. They can ask questions.
Yeah.
The food is going to be delicious.
It's an experience, right?
Yes.
It's good food, of course, but there's an experience behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
What really bothers me is going to places where the tip scream's right in your face and you're still getting somebody who's really not, you got this look, you got body language, just like I don't care and everything else. And I hate that, I really do. And I don't think that America should be resolved to that's the way customer service is in America. I don't think it needs to be that way. And I think young people like you, college age, some of the high school kids here, I almost feel like them seeing that, no, there's a different way to do it and there's a different way to approach. And it's not hard. Is it hard to be nice to people?
No.
It's not, right?
No.
Is it hard to smile?
No.
It doesn't cost you anything, right?
No.
It doesn't cost me anything. And then, again, like the food, you gave somebody something good, they ate it, they said, wow, that's great. You felt great about it. Does a smile or a thumbs up give that same thing to people? It makes them feel good.
Yeah.
You get the smile back. It comes back and it makes you feel doubly as good. Do you understand?
Yes, I
the
understand.
boomerang of it?
Exactly.
Do you think kids here can understand it? Is the mindset different? I want to understand it better.
It's hard because of the new generation and so much technology heavy, and a lot of people have a mindset of, I want to do less for more. It might be harder for them to learn the concept and understand why we do no tipping.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's impossible.
I think you learned things in this last 2 months here. I'd like to think. At one point later in your life, you're going to move forward and whatever you're doing and say, you know what? Things I learned at Hoshi or experienced at Hoshi or that different type of way of things being done there, I hope one day you look back and say, wow, you know, it benefited me. It made me a better person. I learned something I didn't know.
Absolutely.
I have a new approach that maybe I wouldn't have thought of if I didn't have that 2 months or 3 months at Hoshi working. And from me to you as a young person and somebody I like, I really hope I hope it's for everybody here to say, you know what, there is a different way to do it. It doesn't cost any money to be nice to people. You don't have to be Japanese to share something different with people.
No.
And to get people to enjoy what you enjoy and to be passionate about it. I think you embrace that. So I want to thank you for what you brought to Hoshi.
Yeah.
Working with Japanese people. You got a chance to work with a number of Japanese people here.
Yes.
We have a great crew of Japanese and non-Japanese people here. But anything different that you noticed? Again, I know you don't have a ton of work experience, but the Japanese people that you worked with here, did you notice anything about the way they work or the way they approach work or maybe their attitude or anything come up to you in working with them that you noticed?
Yeah. One thing in particular is that just trying to find something to do. I don't want to instantly go to my phone. And so working with other Japanese people, they really have that concept really built into constantly, hey, we're here to work, so let's go find something else. We don't have any customers. Let's go clean off the tables. The tables are clean. Clean the floor. Clean this. Or, hey, this looks like it's a little disorganized. Let's organize it again. Or finding things to do even though you're not asked. Very self-motivated. Mm-hmm. That was one of the biggest things that stood out to me working with Japanese.
Yeah, I think that's a good observation. Yeah. How about, have you noticed when Japanese are working, they're watching, they're looking ahead, like let's say, oh, Alexis, okay, I finished what I'm doing. Can Alexis use some help? Right? Yeah. Can I come in to help somebody else do something? Oh, look, it looks like we need something, to do it. And they're thinking, this is called kizukai. Kizukai is the awareness or the awareness around you of, again, not about me, but us. Can I help Alexis somehow? What can I do to better think, hey, it looks like we're going to need this. Thinking ahead. Yeah. Looking around. Being aware of things that can be done. Maybe something spilled on the floor. The person goes, grabs a mop. They didn't cause the mess, but they came with the mop to help. Yeah. Did you notice that with the Japanese employees?
There have been a couple spills that have been made, and definitely it's always that. You aren't doing something, they're always willing to help, and I personally learned that myself into building that more and more into my skills of, hey, I'm done with my task. Hey, so-and-so needs extra help. I'm gonna go help them. Yeah. If they need help, go help them. Don't wait for them to ask you.
That's the concept. So you omotenashi, you learned about Japanese hospitality. Mm-hmm. Kizukai is what we just talked about right now. These are really important concepts. They're simple. I don't think they're hard to learn, but I think in America, in some ways, we've gotten away from some of these things. And then the other thing I do want to say too, that was a lot of fun, that we got to do all of us together, is the days that we went into the kitchen and we just made and thought about ideas. And everybody here had a little part of coming up with delicious drinks and other ideas. And obayaki and other things that you guys didn't even know about before. You're like, hey, what about if we put this inside? Wait. And that was fun, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Favorite obayaki?
Anko.
Favorite onigiri?
Sukiyaki.
Favorite drink?
Oh, HOSHI latte.
HOSHI latte.
Yes.
Great choices, Chris. You're turning Japanese a little bit, I think, after this. You're turning Japanese. I'm turning Japanese, I think. I think so. Is there a song like that or something like that? There was an old song.
There might be.
Your dad would know it. And I. Right, Kim? Again, you and all the other part-timers here that are working really added so much and made opening up something that's brand new to me and doing something new, a new venture for me, made it a lot easier by you guys being here. So thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
And we all want to wish you luck in school and I hope next summer, if you don't have something bigger and better going on, maybe we'll get you back in Hoshi again.
I'll be here at least for a couple months. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. 皆さんいかがでしたか？アレクシスさんは感じのいい子で頭が良くて頑張り屋だし、日本的なおもてなし、気遣いなどを分かってくれてありがたい。彼女だけじゃなくて本当に周りに入ったスタッフ、みんな若いのに、アメリカ人なのに、アメリカ生まれなのにしっかりしていることを子が多いなって、ラッキーだなという感じています。よろしかったら。アレクシスに応援のメッセージをコメント欄の方に入れてください。そしてチャンネル登録の方もよろしくお願いします。スティーブ的視点のグッズもあります。T シャツ、キャップ、星のキャップはないんだけど、いろいろグッズがあるので、星のものを今度売りに出しますので、よろしかったら Amazon と steve'spov.jp をチェックしてみてください。日々前進前向きにサムズアップ的にやっていきましょうね。よろしくお願いします。Thank you, Alexis.
Yes, thank you.
Say bye to all your fans. Bye bye.